K-pop groups that were promised success and fame are failing terribly because of their own mistakes. There was a time when they were called the future of K-pop, but these groups are now getting worse and worse and are disappearing completely. I'm talking about groups that had everything, from groups such as Blackpink to groups like ITZY and NewJeans. The talent, the hype, the money, the fans, companies betting their entire future on them, and then just crash. Spectacular, devastating crashes that nobody saw coming. The most horrible part is that most of these weren't even about lacking talent. These groups are insanely talented, but talent doesn't save you when everything else goes wrong. So yeah, today we're diving into something that's been keeping me up at night. Groups that should be dominating right now, but aren't, and why. Some of these stories are gonna piss you off. Fair warning. 2019, a group debuted and I swear everyone lost their minds. They weren't just another rookie group, they were the rookies. JYP's Golden Girls, the ones supposed to carry the torch after Twice. ITZY. Not Shy, Wannabe, Icy. These weren't just songs, they were like cultural moments. ITZY represented this whole confident, unapologetic energy that Gen Z was eating up. Yeji's stage presence was insane, Ryujin was everywhere, and everything just clicked. But the moment wasn't far when everything started feeling off. The concept started shifting. ITZY built their whole brand on being bold, different, not caring what anyone thought. Then JYP gave them sneakers, and oh my god, the backlash. Fans were brutal. It felt like they were trying to make ITZY into something they weren't. Cute and bubbly when everyone fell in love with them for being fierce. And the music quality started dropping hard. Like, JYP was so obsessed with keeping up with the constant comeback cycle that they forgot to give ITZY actual good songs. Then the members started getting attacked. Leah got hit with bullying accusations, which she denied, but the damage was done. She had to go on hiatus for mental health. That's when I realized something was seriously wrong. Every comeback became this comparison game. People would immediately pit them against aespa, IVE, NewJeans, and ITZY kept losing those comparisons. Chart positions dropped, album sales started to go downhill. That momentum that they had in 2019 was just gone. But what is more messy is that JYP didn't pivot. When it was obvious the Q concept wasn't working, when fans were literally begging them to go back to their original sound, JYP just kept pushing the same strategy. Treated ITZY like guaranteed success, instead of a group that desperately needed course correction. Now they're still around, still releasing music, but that future of K-pop energy that they had built early in their career, and the belief they'd be the next nation's girl group, is just faded. And it's tragic because the talent is right there. The potential is still there, but that momentum, that's gone, and getting it back is nearly impossible. Now, let's talk about a group that literally shot themselves in the foot before they even had a chance to run. The Kiss of Life debuted in 2023 with actual potential. Julie was this incredibly talented member with a legitimate R&B background. Natty had been grinding in the industry forever. The music was good. Their concept was fresh. Everything was lining up for them to be major players. Then, the controversies started piling up. Fast. Pre-debut content resurfaced of members using racial slurs. The N-word specifically. Some fans tried defending it with, they didn't know, and cultural differences. But calm down. It's 2025. With how global K-pop is now, that excuse is dead. Black K-pop fans were rightfully upset. They'd been through this same cycle so many times, supporting groups only to discover they'd said racist things. And the company's response was weak. Generic apology that felt more like damage control than actual accountability. But who knew that this could get even worse? Early 2025, Kiss of Life did this hip-hop themed live stream. They were appropriating black culture. The styling, the way they talked, everything. Fans called it out immediately, that this wasn't appreciation, this was appropriation. Cherry-picking cool parts of black culture while staying silent about the racist language. Kiss of Life's real mistake was thinking they could borrow from black culture without respecting it. They're still releasing music, have dedicated fans, but that next big thing potential and that breakout moment everyone predicted, yeah, that's not happening. Once you lose trust with a huge portion of the K-pop community, getting it back is basically impossible. Well, there was one more group who said racial slurs, but they got away with it even without apologizing. April 2025, literally just months ago. Leaked pre-debut videos of Jennie, Lisa, and Rosé surfaced. In these videos, all three were heard using the N-word multiple times. And these weren't just random leaks. They came from someone claiming to be a former YG employee, deliberately trying to damage Blackpink. The videos were from their trainee days when they were teenagers learning the K-pop system. Blink global fanbase went into full damage control. Released statements about how they were young, different cultural environments, no malicious intent, arguing that judging someone for teenage mistakes before they were famous, before they understood these words' weight, that's unfair. But there were lots of fans who weren't buying it. Twitter became an absolute war zone. Blink's defending the girls, saying they'd grown and learned. Other people saying, I don't care how long ago it was, this is unacceptable. The mistake here was YG's failure to properly educate trainees about cultural sensitivity from the start. Blackpink was always positioned globally. They targeted Western markets, tried breaking into America. You can't do that without understanding the history and pain behind certain words. Well, as I said before, this didn't do any damage to the Blackpink brand, and they did got away with it. But no matter how big or small the idol, saying racist stuff is just as bad. The group that I will be talking about now wasn't just successful. They were called revolutionary. NewJeans. Attention, Hype Boy, Ditto. These songs didn't just chart, they literally changed K-pop sound. NewJeans brought this fresh, nostalgic Y2K aesthetic that felt completely new and amazing. Rookies dominating Spotify, selling out shows, the group everyone talked about. Then the corporate drama started. Min Hee-jin, the creative director behind NewJeans, got into this massive public battle with HYBE, the parent company. Legal disputes, leaked documents, sabotage accusations, corporate espionage allegations. It was absolute insanity. And NewJeans was kind of stuck in the middle. NewJeans publicly supported Min Hee-jin, did a live stream basically saying they wanted her to stay, that she was essential to their identity. And yeah, I get it. Min Hee-jin created their entire concept, understood them, made them who they were. But goddamn, that was risky. Because now NewJeans wasn't just a girl group, they were part of corporate warfare. HYBE fans turned on them, other fandoms used it as ammunition. The narrative became NewJeans is ungrateful, they're being manipulated, they don't understand business. Comeback schedules got disrupted. Members looked stressed in every public appearance. The fun, fresh energy that made NewJeans special in the first place was now replaced with heaviness. Uncertainty about their future. NewJeans' trajectory was supposed to be unstoppable. They were supposed to dominate for years. Instead, they're fighting for stability, clarity, a clear path forward. Their future with HYBE is uncertain. Their relationship with Min Hee-jin is complicated. Everything that should have been simple became impossibly complex. Now NewJeans is trying to recover, but that momentum and that unstoppable force is severely damaged. The next group is ITZY, but with them, it's not like they are crashing or they are facing major downfall, but the problem is just as big. ITZY's success is undeniable. 11, Love Dive, Afterlike, hit after hit. They're one of the most successful fourth-gen groups. They should be unstoppable. But there's this problem that keeps coming up, which is the Wonyoung situation. Look, Wonyoung is talented. She's beautiful, charismatic, was already famous from ITZY. She's got it factor. Nobody's disputing that. But the way she's positioned within IVE has created issues. Fans constantly talk about how IVE feels like Wonyoung and friends. The styling is different. Wonyoung gets outfits that stand out, while other members blend into backgrounds. Camera time isn't equal. Promotional focus heavily favors her. And it's creating resentment. Recent photos of IVE members hanging out without Wonyoung sparked massive speculation. Fans immediately ask that, is there some tension? Are members close? What's really happening behind the scenes? There were some interactions between Wonyoung and Yoojin that fans claim show bad relationships. Wonyoung taking the award instead of Yoojin. Many fans said that Yoojin should be the one to take the award as she is the leader of the group. But some other fans said that it is alright even if Wonyoung took it because she is the face of the group. No, last time I checked, there is a huge difference between face of a group and a leader. Now, are all these analyses accurate? Probably not. K-pop fans have a habit of reading way too much into every interaction. But the fact these conversations keep happening, that's a problem. Because even if there's no actual beef, the perception of beef is damaging. This affects how people view the group as it can create fandom divisiveness and can make every interaction feel loaded and tense. The real issue is Starship Entertainment's management. They're creating this favoritism. They're positioning Wonyoung as everything center while other members are getting treated like supporting cast. But the irony is that this isn't good for Wonyoung either. She's getting blamed for company decisions. She's facing resentment for favoritism she didn't ask for. She won lawsuits against YouTubers spreading malicious rumors because the hate got so bad. IVE's mistake is letting this narrative build. They should have been proactive in showcasing all members equally, pushing back against the Wonyoung and Friends label, making the group feel like an actual group, not a solo act with backup dancers. Instead, they leaned into it. Now they're dealing with constant speculation about internal drama, whether it's real or not. So what's the common thread between all these controversies that are happening? In K-pop, talent isn't enough. Potential isn't enough. Even massive success isn't enough. One wrong move, one poorly handled controversy, one management mistake, one leaked video from years ago can derail everything. The standards are impossibly high. The scrutiny is relentless. The internet never forgets. Drop your opinions in the comments. I genuinely want to know, what do you think about these situations? Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.